Welcome to a Cardano update. So we are currently in a fourth wave move down, and I cannot confirm that we bottomed, but we did get, we almost got to the 0.786 extension right here, and we went oversold on the 4-hour chart. So, maybe that's a sign that the fourth wave right here is actually in. Now, of course, we could always get another low to maybe touch the 0.786 extension. That's not out of the question, but we are already oversold on the RSI, like I said, so another low right now seems unlikely, but it could happen. But I don't see it happening because we are already getting a pump after this low right here, so, keep that in mind. To confirm that we bottomed in the fourth wave right here, well, I kind of need 5 waves to the upside. And I pretty much need the chart to do something like this. And ideally, the 5 waves get above the wave right here to complete this 5th wave move to the upside. And this 5th wave should get to at least the 200% extension right here at 40.7 cents, but it could go a bit higher than that. And once we close this 5th wave move, then that will confirm that the 3rd wave right here is actually in, and that 3rd wave move will be the 3rd wave of this 1-2 setup, and then we'll get a 4th wave, and then a 5th wave to finish a 1st wave move to the upside that I will talk about soon. Now, just a reminder, if we do go below 31.9 cents, well, actually 31.6 cents, then we will most likely get another low in the main 2nd wave right here. Do not forget, we are still in a downtrend right now, and we touched the trend line right here, as you can see, multiple times. So if we do get to the trend line again and we get rejected again, maybe that's going to be a sign that the low right here is not in, and that we will get another low before actually going in the main 3rd wave. Also keep in mind that we got a cross on the bull market support band. As you can see, the green line went above the red line, and usually when that happens, the price tends to blow up like a few weeks later. Like I have mentioned in my previous videos, it does not happen instantly, so the price might continue doing nothing for the next few weeks. But, last time when we did this, as you can see, we were right here, and as you can see, we got a cross, the green line went above the red line, and nothing really happened on the price chart. It was pretty much going down, and then all of a sudden it exploded and it went above the bull market support band, and it stayed there for a very long time until we got another cross and the red line went above the green line. To confirm that the 2nd wave move down right here is actually in, let me go on the daily for this. First, I need 5 waves up. So currently we are in a 3rd wave move. We should get a 4th wave and then a 5th wave. And these 5 waves up will only complete a 1st wave move to the upside. And then after that, I can expect a big ABC structure to form a 2nd wave move down. And then a 3rd wave move to the upside to form, a 3rd wave move, a 4th wave, and a 5th wave. And these 5 waves will only confirm that this 1st wave right here is in. Obviously, the 5th wave does not have to go to these levels right here. The minimum target, I would say, is getting above the high right here of the 1st wave high right here. So this 1st wave that I'm expecting to get, well, I'm expecting to get it, but that does not mean that we will get it, Nothing is guaranteed in crypto. But if we do go up in 5 waves and we form this 1st wave move to the upside, that will confirm that the 2nd wave low is in, and that will confirm that we are in a 3rd wave move to the upside. And I'm talking about this 3rd wave move right here. And if we confirm that we are in a 3rd wave move, then obviously the 3rd wave is usually the most impulsive. Well, not usually, always. It's always the most impulsive, so that's when most of the gains will happen. And, would this make sense right now? Would it make sense to get a 3rd wave move to the upside? In my opinion, yes, and let me explain why. I've already talked about Bitcoin dominance many times, but this is very important, so let me remind you that Bitcoin dominance is currently at 57.3%, and I think it's close to topping. I think it will top somewhere between 59 and 60.3% to touch the 0.618 level right here, and then it will drop like crazy, like it did right here in the previous cycle, and that's when we'll get an altcoin season. Now, how much could it drop? Well, in the last cycle, from this high right here to the low that we got, let's say right here, it dropped about 43%. So let's say we get to 60% dominance. If we drop, let's say 40% from that, we'll go down to like 36%, which, it could happen, or maybe it's not going to happen. I mean, we don't have to go down 40%. Maybe we'll only go down like 30% this time. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens with that. All depends on how strong the altcoins are, But as you can see, in each cycle, the Bitcoin dominance chart is putting in lower highs. So here, this was a high, this was a high, and this will be a high. So who's to say that next cycle, the next high will not be at like 50%, So keep that in mind. Now, of course, we could always break the all-time high right here, but I think that's very unlikely right now because, 73% dominance, that will pretty much kill all of the altcoins. So I don't think that will happen. I don't see that happening. But getting back on topic, I can see Bitcoin dominance topping somewhere in December or even August. And let me explain why. If you check out the Bitcoin monthly returns, if you go to the halving years, so for example 2020, as you can see in 2020, Bitcoin went up 170% in Q4. And in the halving year before that, in 2016, it went up 58%. Is that a coincidence? I mean, as you can see, Bitcoin is usually doing very good in Q4. I mean, last year it went up 57% and it was not even a halving year, As you can see, the average return on investment for Q4 for Bitcoin is 88%. So maybe this Q4 will not be different. And if that's the case, then maybe Bitcoin will start going up. Now, what does that mean? Well, yes, Bitcoin dominance will most likely top in September and October, but that does not mean that the Bitcoin price will go down when the Bitcoin dominance goes down. No, that's not how it works. Usually, whenever we get an altcoin season, that's when Bitcoin starts pumping, So Bitcoin pumps first and then altcoins start outperforming it. And when would be the perfect time to do that? Well, if you check out the monthly returns, as you can see, in September, Bitcoin never really does anything. I mean, we've done nothing. And if you check out the previous halving years, for example, 2020, it actually went down in September. And in 2016, it barely went up 6%. So, maybe this time will be no different. And if that's the case, then I'm expecting September to close red. And what does that mean? Well, as you can see, even though it closes red, it does not close red, it does not close a huge red wick. It's only like 7 to maybe 10% or so. And if we are going to do that, let's say we go down like 5% in September, that's pretty much going to be sideways price action for Bitcoin. And, if Bitcoin goes sideways, that's when the Bitcoin dominance chart goes up because, altcoins cannot go up if Bitcoin goes sideways. I mean, of course, some of them can, but not many can, So maybe it's safe to say that we will go sideways for another month before we top on the Bitcoin dominance chart, and then after that we start dropping and we go into the altcoin season that everyone has been waiting for since 2022, And of course, I don't have to remind you each time, but this structure that we got in the previous cycle looks very similar to what we have right now, and it's pretty much the exact same wave count, but except this right here. So this drop that we got right here invalidated the move that we got right here, and this only happened because of the pandemic. So, at that time, after we got the cross on the bull market support band, just like we're doing right now, the price was not really doing anything, it was actually going down. But then a few weeks later, it started pumping right here. And I think it would have continued to pump, but unfortunately we got the pandemic and, the move pretty much got invalidated. But we somehow managed to recover anyways after that. So, maybe we would have continued going up. And maybe ADA would have gone to much higher highs, Obviously that's speculation. I mean, it's nothing guaranteed, but maybe ADA was supposed to go to the 3.618 at $5. In this cycle, I'm expecting ADA to get to at least the 1.618 extension in the third wave move to the upside. And of course, it could get there in the fifth wave, and the third wave could only get to like the 100% extension right here, like it did in the previous cycle. As you can see, in the third wave, we got above the 100% extension. but we also got to the 1.618 level, so, you know. So I think as long as we get to the previous all-time high in the third wave, then a fifth wave move to the upside that goes to like the 1.618 level is realistic. But, you know, we'll have to see what happens. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out our Patreon and our YouTube memberships if you want access to all of our charts. We constantly update them, so, you know, if you're interested in that, check it out. And if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.